Morning, all. And today's draft preview is where we get into one of those guys who, I don't know, is he going to end up being a top six forward or not? Dawson Mercer, born in Newfoundland, so clearly I'm going to pull for this kid to do well. 6 foot, 179 pounds. He's listed as a right winger, but he played center this year. So today, Hockey Prospect has released their black book at the very least. I have it now. So their black book basically goes into detail on every single prospect in the draft. The PDF file is over 700 pages. The printed version, they're aiming for a little bit under 600 pages. And Hockey Prospect updated Dawson Mercer's ranking to 18th with this final ranking. He had been 12th before that. So the average, I've got a question mark after 10 because I think that's going to drop. And this is the thing. Mercer, 12th on ISS Hockey, 10th on Central Scouting and North American Skaters, 15th on Elite Prospects, but the overall average is listed as 10th, so I think the average is going to drop. But I'm wearing a New Jersey because New Jersey has multiple first-round picks, and maybe this is a player who falls to them. Again, listed as a right winger. He was a full-time center this year, his first time, and he was 52% on faceoffs. So that's good to see him transition to center and have a good faceoff record. Strong hockey sense, according to the scouts. He can play either wing or center, so he's one of these, can play all three lines. And he's considered to be an unselfish two-way player, not an elite level scorer. And he's probably going to have to work harder at the NHL level to really make that step than some of the other guys that I've already talked about in this draft, where it's just natural and it comes easy to them. He's not seen as a natural scoring forward. Top six potential, yes, but possible he could become your prototypical third line center. And these are the guys that often end up winning you games and series. The guys that, while you have your big star players that get all the headlines, it's that shutdown forward. It is that shutdown line that maybe protects that lead in the third period. That maybe gets that guts out that goal in the second period to get that lead in the first place, but doesn't get all of the praise for it. So Mercer seems like that kind of guy. 2018-2019, playing for Drummondville in the QMJHL. 68 games, 30 goals, 34 assists, 64 points. This season, he split the season between Drummondville and Chicoutimi. 26 games with Drummondville, 18 goals, 24 assists, 42 points. After going to Chicoutimi, 16 games played, 6 goals, 12 assists, 18 points. So the overall points totals, not quite where you'd expect of a first-round draft pick in the top 10. I can see him dropping down to 15th. And there are scouts who see him as being, well, he's a good player. I don't know if I'd take him. Another one saying, oh, he's smart. He's a good interview. So I would take him. So we'll see which side wins in that. Is there a team like maybe New Jersey that looks at him and goes, hey, he's still available. We want him. World Junior Championship. He did not score this year in the 7 games he played, but he was only in a depth role. So it's expected that next year he'll go to the World Junior Championships again, providing we have World Junior Championships in 2020, right? But, 2021 technically is when it would be awarded. But he is expected to be there and play a more prominent role. So you have to look at his not scoring any points in 7 games and take it with a grain of salt because he didn't play a lot. His strengths, teamwork. And that's something that the scouts talk about a lot, his unselfish play. Elevating average teammates and line mates to being better players. And maybe being saddled with line mates at times that aren't near elite level line mates that other players may have. Speed. His speed is considered to be good, not fantastic, but it is one of his better aspects of his game. And there are a couple of reports I saw that said he needs to work a little bit on his skating. But again, that's not that unusual once you get out of that top 10. And like I said, he averages to 10 right now. We'll see if that's where he gets drafted. Puck handling, agility, acceleration. These are all considered to be his strongest assets. But this is a guy who could slide in the draft. This is one of those guys that he could be ranked as a top 15 and end up dropping into the high 20s. And again, this is where it depends on which team's up and what they're looking for. And maybe he won't quite be what another team is looking for. Maybe they'll take a more offensively gifted player who might have more risk in order to try to get that, risk reward to balance out in their favor. The one thing with him is his offensive and defensive games are listed as equal on Elite Prospects. So the fact that those are listed as being equal tell you he's a two-way forward, unselfish, but he's also considered, you know, in the black book for hockey prospect, they say he's a safe pick. Basically meaning that he also may be a guy that a GM looks at who's drafting at like 14 or 15 and goes, well, I'm not a huge fan of all of these guys, but Mercer we know will play in the NHL. And Mercer is a good pick for us in this spot. We need to make sure we have NHL prospects who are going to play. And the other guys are considered a reach. I'll go with Mercer. And maybe somebody in the top 10. Maybe somebody in the top 10 looks and goes, you know what, we'll take this kid because he's got a lot of heart. He's a great interview. And we think that he can do something for us. So again, the Newfoundlander in me coming out, hoping that this kid does well. And, you know, projectable NHL size. He can play all three forward spots. We'll see where he ends up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. Just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.